Hey guys, so last week, 2 weeks ago actually, on April 17th, you guys had an assignment for lesson 117 from Saxon, finding a whole number when a fraction is known. It seems like this one was pretty tough for most of you. So I'm going to go through some extra practice problems. I kept the formatting the same, but I changed the numbers over here for these questions. And then for the last part, I changed all the numbers, but I kept the idea the same, so that it's still the same style that we had before. I am going to have some more questions like this on next week's homework assignments and packet, so try to make sure that you understand these. If you're not getting it still, even after the lesson video that I posted on April 13th, and if this still doesn't help you and you've come into Zoom and that's still not helping, find some way to get in contact with me or Miss Romero or Miss Jen or anybody that you think can help you understand this better. So I'm going to start working a few of these out. I'm going to go through them very slowly. So if you don't have much time and I'm talking too slow, I'm posting this on YouTube, which means you can speed this up. You can go to the controls and tell it to go faster, or if I'm talking too fast, you can make it go slower. Alright, so that's up to you. So what you're going to need, first of all, is a highlighter. Definitely have a highlighter when you're doing this, if possible. If you don't have a highlighter, a crayon, a marker, anything that is going to help you make sure that you know what you're doing. So I need a highlighter, and you should have either a pencil or an erasable pen, something that you can write, and if you make a mistake, because we're learning math, we're going to make mistakes, so something that you can erase. So pencil, let's see, a pencil, good old-fashioned, or if you want to use some colors, erasable pens if you have them. Alright, and you guys know me, I've got my erasable pens. Alright, so first we need to read the problem. 12 is 1/5 of what number? So we need to figure out how we can solve this. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to make a rectangle, which is going to represent our fraction. So this is our whole number. This is our what number is this rectangle. It says 1/5, so I'm going to cut it up into 5 pieces. Makes sense, right? 1/5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So when we have a fraction, it's telling us how many pieces is this whole cut up into. Now I'm going to take my highlighter. My numerator is 1. So I'm going to highlight the 1, and then I'm going to highlight 1 piece. So 1/5 is represented as 1/5. That makes sense? Alright, so next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to circle this 12. Okay, so it's telling me that 12 is 1/5 of my whole big number. So I have 1/5 of this big rectangle selected. So how much do you think is going to go there? If 12 is 1/5, and this highlighted section is 1/5, 12 is 1/5, this rectangle is 1/5, that means this rectangle is 12. So I'm going to write a 12 in there. With me so far? Not too bad, right? So now, if 12 is the size of this piece, how big are each of these other pieces? When we make fractions, aren't the pieces normally supposed to be the same size? I think they are. So that means that this piece, I'm going to pick a different color, is going to be 12. This piece is going to be 12. That one is 12. And the last piece is 12. So now all I have to do is add them up or multiply them. 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12. I don't really want to add that up, but I'm going to. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Carry the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That comes out to 60. Or I could do 12 times 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 plus 1 is 6. So 60 or 60, however I do it. So how can we do this with math instead of pictures? Because some of us are picture people, some of us are math people, some of us are just trying to get through the day and make the math teacher happy. Okay, so I am a math person though. So 12 is 1/5 of what number? What in the world is this trying to tell us? It's trying to tell us 12 is 1/5 of what number? So 12 is 1/5 of is a multiply in this case. Sometimes it can be a divide, but right now it's a multiply of what number? So I'm going to say our question mark is n. N for number. So 12 equals 1/5 times n. How do I get n by itself? We've talked about this a little bit. We need to use inverse operations. So I have 1/5 times n. In order to get n by itself, I have to do the opposite of multiplying. I'm going to actually make this easier and say 12 is equal to n times 1/5. Because if you remember from PEMDAS, yes, we normally have to make sure things are left to right, but multiplying doesn't matter the order. So I can do 1/5 times n or n times 1/5. If you don't trust me, let's say n is 5. It's not. But 1/5 times 5 is equal to 5 over 5 equals 1. But if I do 5 over 1 times 1/5, 5 times 1 is 5, 1 times 5 is 5. I get the same answer either way. So I can put it however I want. So, how do I get rid of that? Let's divide by 1/5 on both sides. If I do something to the right side, I have to do it to the left side, or else we're going to have that teeter-totter that's going to go yeet to somebody on the other side. So that's going to cancel those out. So now I have 12 divided by 1/5. Now we have to use the reciprocal. So we have 12 times 5 over 1 equals 60. Okay, I made my phone stop buzzing and my computer stop dinging, so we're good. So 12 times, so we divide by 1, and then we multiply by 5. We divide by the numerator, and then multiply by the denominator, and that's going to give us our answer. So let's try the next one. 12 is 2/5 of what number? 12 is 2/5 of what number? And that's going to be my times. I'm going to start this one out by doing, again, a rectangle. My denominator is 5. That means I'm splitting it up into 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's my numerator? What's my top number? It's 2. So I'm going to highlight my 2. How many of these do you think I should color in? On this one, 1. We colored in 1. So 2, we're going to color in 2. Okay, so last time we were told 12 is 1/5 of what number? So we just wrote a 12 in. But this time 12 is 2/5. So that 12 has to be split up into this whole pair. So this rectangle right here that I'm making a little thicker, that is 12. So I'm going to put like a little squiggly thingy that says everything inside of this little section equals 12. So we have 2 pieces. Both pieces are the same size. I know that when I add those 2 pieces together, I get 12. So let's do 12 divided by 2, because I have 2 pieces. That equals 6. How big do you think each piece is? It's 6. So I'm going to write a 6 in each of those. If both of those pieces are 6, how big are the last 3 pieces? They're all 6s. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, how big is each piece? Each piece is 6. 5 times 6 equals 30. So my answer is 30. I'm going to go back and put a 60 in there. Okay, so if I wanted to do it without the picture and just doing the math, I would do 12 divided by 2 equals 6. And then, so I would do, I'm going to highlight because I have that highlighted. So 12 divided by 2 equals 6. And then we're going to do 6 because that's our number here. And then times our denominator equals 30. I get the same answer however I do it. So that's a good way for me to check to make sure I got it right. So let's try the next one. 6 is 3/4 of what number? I'm going to give you a chance to start drawing it on your own. See if you can figure it out. So I'm going to let you know we need a rectangle box. How many pieces do I split it up into? Think about that for a moment. What's our denominator? This tells us how many pieces we're splitting it. So I'm going to split it up into 4. Okay, and then you guys know I've got my highlighter. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to highlight 3, and then I'm going to color in 3 of these boxes. So far so good, right? You're catching on? I hope so. So these 3 boxes, when I put them all together, they equal 6. So I'm going to circle that. 6 goes right there. 6 divided by how much? There's 1, 2, 3 boxes. 3 is my numerator. It equals 2. So if I put that in my boxes, I get 2, 2, 2, 2. That means my last box is also 2. So I'm going to take that 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, or times my denominator of 4, equals 8. So 6 is 3/4 of 8. I got the same answer either way. 2, 4, 6, 8. Done, done. Okay, I'm going to do this one a little faster. See if you can keep up. I don't want to draw 8 sections, so I'm going to do boom, boom, boom. I got 4. Watch that. Shapwa! Mic drop. Okay, so I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just, trying to flex my awesomeness here. So 50 is 3/8 of what number? 1, 2, 3. I just wanted to save a little bit of room, make my life a little easier. So these 3 boxes, you know what? I don't like that number. I made these numbers up earlier. So I'm going to change that one to make it actually work nice and easy without any decimals or fractions for you guys. Because I'm mean, but I'm not terrible. Okay? 51. I like that number better. 51 is 3/8 of what number? So we're going to do 51 divided by 3, because all 3 of those equal 51. So let's come over here. 51 divided by 3. 3 goes into 5 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. Bring down the 1. 21. 3 goes into 21 17 times. Oops. So each piece is 17. If I had left it as 50, we would have had 16 2/3, and I didn't want to go with that number, so 17 is a lot better than 16 2/3. All right, so 51 divided by 3 is 17. I have how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, as I could have seen from right there. 17 times 8 is equal to another big number. 17 times 8. 8 times 7 is 56. Write the 6, carry the 5. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 5 is 13. 136. So our answer is 136. Done and done. You guys are turning into experts now, I hope. Okay, 4/7 of the students in the class were girls. So, and if there were 16 girls in the class, how many students were in the class altogether. I'm going to circle 16 because that is the thing that I've been doing the whole time. I've been circling the number that I know when a fraction is known. So 16 girls are 4/7 of class. So I'm going to set it up the same exact way. I'm going to highlight that 4 because that's my numerator. 7ths is my denominator. I'm going to draw my little box. This time it's not a nice even number, so I'm going to just draw out all 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to pretend those are the same size just for the sake of this problem. 4 of them should be colored in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And my little squiggle that says 16 is those 4 pieces. Some of you can probably already look at it and say 16 divided by 4. Oh yeah, that's 4. So toss in your 4s. And if those are 4, these ones are 4. So I have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And let's do it with the math way. 16 divided by my numerator equals a new number. That number times my denominator equals 28. So there are 28 students in the class. So say this is the whole entire classroom, because don't we all go to school in a nice little perfect rectangle? Like totes for sure, you know. So 4 people sit here, 4 girls sit here, 4 girls sit here, 4 girls sit there, and then 3 boys sit over there, 3 boys sit over there, 3 boys sit over there. We come up with 28 kids total. So hopefully this is helping out a little bit. I would like, if you are able to, please try these problems, work them out with me. If you're still not getting it, try to come on Zoom if you can. If you're not able to get on Zoom, send me a dojo message. If you're on Classroom, Google Classroom, send me a message there, a private message in the actual assignment, and I will try to help you out as much as I can. But hopefully this is going to make some sense. Once that does make sense, you can go back to the original lesson practice, try those again if you're able to, and then hopefully you'll do good on the test that I'm going to give you next week. Good luck, guys. Thanks.